free your
guide at Nakayima shrine. This tree, the tree that you're seeing at the back, this tree is called Nakayima tree. This tree is found in Mubende municipality. A village where it is located is called Boma Hill Village. So here we are on top of the hill. So the name Boma, it is in English version, meaning the British Overseas Military Army, because during those time back, the British used to stay in this place. So the old building that you see, this was the place for the British. So this tree, the legenders who tells us a story about it, they say that this tree was planted by the Chwez. The pilgrims who believe in traditional way, they say that this tree just grew at its own. But the lady who disappeared there, she is called Nalongo, the one that we call Nakayima. Nakayima tree doesn't have a tree species. When you look at it, it's like a mvule tree, but not a mvule tree. We just call it Nakayima tree. The lady who disappeared there, she was Chwez. No one knows the origin best of the Chwez. So those who tried to do the research, they wrote saying that the Chwez who entered Uganda and other countries, they say that they may have come from Ethiopian highland, Greek and Portuguese. But when they went on doing the research, they found that this group just settled there. So no one knows the origin of the Chwez. In the same way, no one knows the species of Nakayima tree. So this tree, when the Chwez came, was not there at first. So when the Chwez came, they found our ancestors living and surviving in this land. Because of the spiritual power that they had, they used to appear and disappear at the same moment. Secondly, they used to perform different miracles like the Almighty. Because for us African, we did not know the Almighty. The Anglicans and the missionary in 1910 and 1914 is when they brought for us the biblical teaching. But for us African, we used to believe in the gods that we can see physically, and those were the Chwez. Because of that spiritual power that they used to appear and disappear at the same moment. So when the Chwez came, they did a connection with our ancestors and they became one. Our ancestors started believing in them as the gods. So for us African, we used to believe in 99 gods. But when the missionary came preaching biblically, they said that they preach saying that there is one God. But for us African, we used to believe in 99 gods, and those were the Chwez. So when the Chwez did a connection with our ancestors, they built up a kingdom. And the first king to be chosen was known as King Dahura. This king was so polite to the people. He used to bring different ideas in this kingdom. So when they chose King Dahura, our ancestors used to love him so much because of the good leadership that he used to bring in this, or to show in this kingdom, that the idea that he brought at first was cultivation. Because when the Chwez came, they found our ancestors living or benefiting on meat because they were hunters, and fruits because they were gatherers. So when King Dahura sat, he brought an idea of cultivation, and the first group to be grown was known as a peas. It's white in color. Traditionally, you call it in kolimbo. So when they grew this sauce, our ancestors got a good harvest, and they went on knowing that this food is beneficial to them. So when King Dahura sat, he discovered another food which is known as millet and sorghum. So when our ancestors grew this fruit crop, they got a good harvest and they were so happy to the king. So what they did, they went to King Dahura and requested him to marry a wife. But during those time back, women were not given name, but they were just called respect or special name. Or a lady could be called a name to a boy child that she has given a birth to. So the lady that he married, she was given a respect name of being called a mother that twin. Traditionally, she is known as Nalongo. She didn't give a birth a twin, it was just a respect name during those time back. So this lady, she also had a spiritual power that she used to appear and disappear at the same moment. Secondly, she used to perform different miracles like her husband. So when these two people went on leading this kingdom, our ancestors used to love them so much because of their good leadership. So what they did, that during harvesting season, our ancestors used to get a half of the harvest, taking it to the king and the queen at the heart of thanksgiving or appreciating for the good harvest in the season. So King Dahura was so happy to our ancestors and the Chwez. So when time came in, King Dahura disappeared because the Chwez didn't die. Dahura disappeared in a place called same way. It's a big group found in Kakumiro district. When he disappeared, our ancestors felt so bad because they used to love him so much because of the good leadership that he used to show in this kingdom. So when our ancestors sat, they decided to put there something like a souvenir after the disappearance of King Ndahura. This is the tree that they planted. Nakayima tree was planted as a souvenir of King Ndahura after the disappearance. So where the name Nakayima comes from, that the lady Nalongo, she went on leading this kingdom. But there were some who tried like the Luo, which used to come in this kingdom, fight them, kill them, take their properties and animals. So what the lady did, because she didn't have a military technique to fight the enemy, she requested this kingdom to choose another king. When our ancestors sat, they decided to choose a brother to King Ndahura, who is known as Gowensemene. They decided to choose a brother to King Ndahura, who is known as Chitaka. Chitaka was a younger brother to King Ndahura. So when they chose Chitaka, for him he came with his bad rules and regulation, that whoever do anything bad in this kingdom, the punishment given to him or her was just to be killed. So Chitaka was using Walumbe, the gods of death, to kill our ancestors and the Chwez. So this lady Nalongo, she used to feel so bad because that was not the way that the husband used to lead this kingdom. So this one was too brutal. Yes. So what she used to do, because she had that spiritual power, she used to know it at first that there is somebody who is going to be killed by Chitaka. What she used to do, she used to go to Chitaka and advise him and request him that the person that you're going to kill, don't kill him or her, but just give him another punishment. But Chitaka didn't listen to the advice of the lady Nalongo. For him, he went on killing our ancestors and the Chwez. So even our ancestors, they went on knowing that the one killing them is their own second king Chitaka. So what they did, they created something like a riot. That during harvesting season, instead of getting half of the harvest taken to the widow, the queen, and the king Chitaka, they had to give it to the queen Nalongo. So Chitaka felt so bad and planned to kill this lady Nalongo. When she knew that she's going to be killed, a wife to King Ndahura, she ran away from this kingdom and went to Maberega Namwiru in Fort Potro to hide herself from there. Namwiru is the mother of King Ndahura. So she went there to hide herself from there. But Chitaka didn't stop killing our ancestors and the Chwez. So the one who was a military commander guiding this palace, he decided to collect all the military army, at least to find out the solution, how to drop Chitaka out of the throne. At least another person can go take over. So the idea that they decided to go and look after that lady Nalongo, who ran away from this kingdom, for her to come back and lead this kingdom instead of Chitaka. So when they found that lady Nalongo, she told them that I will be coming back, but this time around I will not be as usual as I used to be, that I can appear and disappear at the same moment. This time around I will be spiritually invisible, but I will be there standing before you to the king, not to be killed. So when the lady Nalongo came back, she just entered inside or disappeared inside the souvenir of the husband spiritually. So what she used to do, when she knew that there is somebody who is going to be killed, she used to come secretly in your dream when you are asleep. She gives you a dream that you are going to be killed. But what you have to do, just go where we planted a souvenir of King Ndahura, you kneel, you pray so that I can stand before you to the king. So our ancestors who came here and knelt there and prayed, you are not killed. The rumor started passing around that if you want to defend yourself from Chitaka not to be killed, you just go where we planted a souvenir of King Ndahura, you kneel, you pray. There is where you find a lady Nalongo so that she can stand before you to the king. There is where the name started from, Nakayima. Nakayima means a person who can stand before you to the different problem that you may be having. But the lady who disappeared there, she is known as Nalongo, a mother to the tree. Nakayima tree, when it grows, it doesn't have a taproot, it just have a lateral or a fibrous root. So it partitions itself. Traditionally, here, those rooms that you see, or the partition that you see in there, we call them rooms. Rooms? Yes. Here you have, yeah. Here we have 9 rooms representing the 99 gods. 99 gods? Yes. 99 gods? Yeah, because for us Africans, we used to believe in 99 gods. But each god had its own particular to deal with. For example, Musoke for rain, Mukasa for lakes and river, Dungu for hunting, Kalisa for cattle keeping, Juanka military commander, Lubowa, Vice, all those were the gods that we used to believe during those time back. So the first room works like a reception restaurant, and at the same time it works like a lodge or where a person who can get where you can sleep. For that show reception, when a person comes, there is where she starts or he starts for introduction. After introducing yourself, you go around in the remaining 8 rooms, pray to the different gods. For that show restaurant, there are those who come here to spend a day, a week, even a month, depending on the problem that you may be having, depending on the dream that you have got from Nakayima. In the first room is where you sleep. Even if it rains, they don't leave a place. Traditionally, we take it there. They are being washed out the evil spirit that they may be having. For the issue of restaurant, when you come here and pray and you have got, you have to come back and thank you or appreciate for the good thing that you have got. But as the nature and the generation goes on change, this time around we don't bring the millet sorghum and the kolimbo, the peas. This time around we bring uncooked food, starting from matoke, rice, millet flour, cassava, sweet potato, plus other foods like meat, beans, peanuts, like that. So when you bring those food, you carry and take in the first room. After introducing them in the first room, you carry and take to the kitchen. So the lady that you find there to the kitchen, we call her a god's name, Nabuzana. Nabuzana, she's like a cook or a mother. So she's the one to guide you in the preparation of those food. When the food is ready, they carry it back and serve in the first room to the people who are in the palace. Yeah.